Welcome to the next installment of Empyrean Rising. Yay! This is going to be episode 4. I am Evie, the Disaster GM, known as Game Moderator. I don't go by those various other acronyms anymore. One of the directors of Ultra Deco Archives and game runner for this particular session and game series. With me, I have a couple of our illustrious and wonderful players. Let's go ahead and start our introductions off with Alina.
Hey everybody, I am Alina Pete, they, them, and I am playing Kael, who is also they, them. You can find me online at alinapete.com or at wheregeek.com, where my comics are. I do another stream over at twitch.tv/wheregeekcomics. And I will be in person at Emerald City Comic Con next weekend, or next Thursday, actually. It starts real early. You can find me at booth 20819 under the Topatico banner. I'll be selling cool shirts, D20 plushes, my cute little cubies. Fun.
Very cool.
First con of the season.
Yeah, it is indeed con season. That's gonna be fun for some people, and I'm gonna be moving. Yay. But yeah, so I hope you have so much fun, and that anyone that happens to be tuning in now or before the con at least goes and gives Alina and a visit and checks out the stuff at their booth. Next on the docket, let's introduce Extel.
Hello, everybody. I am Extel. You can find me on Twitter at XTrillTheKing. Also Instagram, I'm also there. I'm trying to post more, trying to be better about it. Great time. Over on Take Road, we just recorded our final episode of Blood Tax. Come by this Wednesday. It's upcoming Wednesday to check it out. It's a doozy of an episode. It's a great time. The players are great. It's amazing. But yeah, you'll hear more about it over on my Twitter and whatnot.
Very cool. Lots of fun stuff. And while it may not be hosted on Ultra Deco Archives, it does continue the tradition of Vampire Wednesdays. And then, of course, our beautiful and wonderful Maggie.
Hello, that's me. My name is Maggie. I use they, she pronouns. I play Sibell, who uses she, her pronouns. You can find me on the internet at Thor Magnarok most places, except for the character creation stream that's on Alina's channel. You can find me there sometimes.
Very fun. Very fun. Gotta love my players. All my players are amazing. Unfortunately, we are missing Fleet today as well. It is the continuation of their little break, but they will be returning hopefully within the next couple of episodes. They play kinder a blue-skinned and very exuberant veterinarian of some kind. We will figure out how they have been faring during these little bit of time. You will see how they've been faring as things have progressed. As some of you may remember from the last session, magic is definitely awake. It is starting to affect the people of the world more than had previously been present while it was still mostly dormant. Some interesting things happened last session once they got down into Deep View. Nighttime discoveries of possible night vision, possible people not actually existing and being a ghost. It's hard to say. Illusory trees, sparkling fingers, like full-on jazz hands at night while asleep. It can be interesting sometimes, but nothing is solid. Nothing has really taken hold, and they are trying to figure out what all of that means. Following the path that was at least indicated to them of someone who had delved a little further than is really safe into Old City. The group eventually found what was this young man's re-entry into Deepview District. A small shaft that was designed through the cracks and crevices of the stone and rock that make up this cave system that he had crawled up, but in the process made it a little less stable. There was a minor cave-in right beneath their feet. A couple of characters failed their might reflex types of rolls and started to fall. And while Jax did manage to catch them, unfortunately, his attempt to hold on was a natural one, causing all three of them to fall, Jax in particular, head first into this broken stone crevice beneath the streets and districts of Icenbridge. And I suppose that is where we are picking up.
We're very good at this adventure thing.
Yeah, so good at this. You can tell that you guys are professionals. You've done this a lot. Yeah. You've done this a lot. Yeah, so you have quite literally and very suddenly, this is immediately after, the rock beneath your feet cracked and then fell, tumbling a bit past you, since there was that brief jerk at the back of your necks of Jax catching your clothing and bags and trying to lift you out, but overbalancing and just tumbling headfirst directly after you. So you can hear the crackle and snap of rocks and dirt rattling against the sides of this crevice as you go sliding full on old school McDonald's like play park down through the dark, and the only one of you that can see anything is Kael.
Except I have my eyes squeezed shut and I am screaming.
Okay.
It's like reverberating off of the walls. I'm just white-knuckled trying to grip at anything.
So it is echoing around you. You hear the rattle and snap of broken rocks and bits of root as you guys go tumbling past, and then the echoing, disjointed yell of Kael, who at least previously was very subdued, as you guys go tumbling down. How would you say your character is reacting, Sibell?
I feel like Sibell is just silent, like white-faced, like absolutely silent, and like mostly staring at Kael, because this is probably the first time they've ever heard, or she's ever heard Kael like sound like this at all.
And then, Jax, you are, like, belly flopped, sliding right past them down this very narrow crevice. The slight hint of light that might give you an indication of how wide it is. You might, as an established cliff jumper, be able to try and catch yourself doing like the full-on frog leg spread out, but your success is vaguely possible because it's hard to tell just how far away it is, and you definitely wouldn't be able to catch your friends. So are you enjoying this slide? Are you freaking out? How are you reacting?
I imagine Jax is actually really having fun.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he starts to let out a whoa, but then he goes, okay, wait, no, I need to be serious about this. And so what he's going to do is he's going to straighten his body as much as he can to gain more speed.
Oh no!
Ramming speed.
There's
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to get in front of everybody.
Okay. Well, so in the process of you like trying to straighten your body and like get it really tight so that you are as aerodynamic as possible, Kael is also flailing their arms around trying to catch something. Go ahead and roll me a might task to try and catch yourself. This is going to be a difficulty level of 6, so it's an 18 or
All
better.
right. Can I do? Is climbing relevant to this?
Yeah, I'll say that that is relevant enough to
Okay.
bring it down to a 5, so 15 or better.
Gotcha. Ooh, 17.
17, very, very nice.
That's a good roll.
So you, like, are panicked initially. You can't really see, mostly because you've got your eyes shut, but there's a brief moment of trying to look for a handhold where your eyes pop open and
Yeah.
you scrabble, and you can see. You can see in the dark. And you grab hold of like an outcropping. It cuts into your hand slightly and jerks you back. And you end up with a partially wrenched shoulder as everyone just goes right past you.
But I'm clinging to it for dear life.
Oh, yes. So
Even though my hand is hurt and my shoulder hurts, I'm like,
yeah.
hugging
So go ahead and take 1 point of might damage from that.
excellent.
Sibell, there is a lantern that's kind of ricocheting down this crevice after you guys. So you can't see really vividly around you, but in it you do see the shadow that was Kael stop as you continue down. And then Jax just bullet right past you.
I'm still probably screaming a little bit,
Yeah.
and so the screaming's now getting further away.
Yeah.
The Doppler effect. Just
Yeah.
like
I'm not even aware that I'm screaming. It's just happening.
I feel like Sibell is wearing like, you know, like a big open cardigan or whatever, and I feel like it's just a balloon. So she's just like, I have no idea what's going on, but I think I might be about to die. And it's just like, okay, all right, well, okay. Has said absolutely nothing. I think probably just has the awareness that Jax is moving, but like does not really seem to comprehend.
Okay. So you go and you guys are falling and one of you is holding desperately to the wall. Jax, you reach where it suddenly opens first
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
because the crack that had been in the wall opens and part of it becomes a ceiling and part of it weaves away as a wall. And there's strings of blue that just blast right past you in your vision because you're moving fast and you're disoriented before right into an underground lake. You are diving full, like you are down and are able to control your fall enough to where you don't like face first into the bottom of this fairly shallow underground pond. So you do eel yourself away, but yeah, water and then Sibell right after him, just full on. Let's do a might check, a might check to see if you belly flop or go ass first. Because it's crevice, open air, strings of lights. Hey, those were the worms, and then water. So it would be a difficulty level 5, so 15 or better, to like just tuck tightly so that you don't, spread out on the surface of water. Or
Cannonball.
if you just want to like go seat first and you have no idea what you're doing, then we'll call that a difficulty 4 or better.
Me, right? Me
Yeah.
or Jax.
Yeah, Jax
Sick.
was already like
Jax is
beelined
fine.
head first. So Jax did like
Perfect
dolphin
dive, yeah.
into the water without having to roll.
Jax broke his nose. Don't lie to me. I know.
Who's to say it wasn't already broken? You know,
That
I'm
is
just
You
saying.
got a
valid.
point. You got a
Right?
point.
All right.
You did
okay.
wrestle bears.
So I have a thing called that you gave me where I can re-roll for luck.
Yep, that is part of your description.
Early in the night to break that one out. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
that is part of your
immediately.
description. Yeah, that is part of your description.
Well, when you roll a nat one on falling into a thing, I feel like it's a good time to maybe get another chance at
Yeah,
that.
go right in. Go for it. It's once per
Right.
encounter.
Yup. Okay. You get one more shot.
Yeah.
I
This
believe in
dice.
you.
Yeah.
No, this dice gets one more
Yeah.
shot.
No. I know. You have a lot of dice in dice jail.
Oh
And
no.
I have a feeling that another one is going into dice jail.
So that's another one.
No.
Okay, yeah. So you get to that opening part and realize that you're passing those like glowing strings of blue worms, which makes you kind of twist. So you don't necessarily belly flop, but it is your back instead, which
Back flop.
Ow.
rushes air like directly out, like knocks the air out of you as you sink and you take a huge gasping breath while in the water. And you're fine. It's that moment of panic of you have gasped in and you know that you should be choking.
Sibell
weird.
just kind of like floats underwater for a bit and just like lets out, does that like little kid on the bottom of the pool thing and just like lets out all of the air and just kind of like sinks lower and like just like watches the air come up and just like she takes like an actual whole breath and like she can breathe it.
Kind of. You feel as if it's trying to kind of pass through you. Sort of like that sensation of water in your hair, where it's almost passing through but not quite. So it doesn't really fill your lungs. You're not breathing water. It just passes through. And you can feel some sort of strain in result, but it's not suffocation. It's more like your body is struggling to process it since you don't know how you're doing it.
Right. Yes. I think there's like a good 5 seconds where she's just like looking up into like the light and being like, this is really cool. Before she realizes that like every other person that she with is gonna think that she died, and she like swims back up to the top like immediately and is like, I'm okay. Hi. And like coughs, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
like-
just like looking around for Jax, like
Yeah. You do like cough out a small globule of water that had made it in, but wasn't
That's
causing
gross.
you difficulty breathing. And it does taste nasty.
Ugh, cave water.
It's like doing backstrokes in the.
Yeah. And like you can still hear the occasional from up in the crevice where Kael is trying to hold on to a random piece of outcropped rock and
Just-
not fall.
And fully losing their shit.
Yeah.
Jax, are you okay?
Yeah, actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I was worried we were gonna hit like ground, but you know,
So you like had a plan? You knew that this was at the bottom?
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed it was gonna be like straight up like rock, dirt, all of that, you know. And I was trying to get there first so that you know you'd have something to land on that wasn't rock or.
It wasn't the rock. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think I can breathe water. Can you? This is water. This is water. Can you
Yeah,
breathe it?
last time I checked, yeah. Huh? No, I can't. I can't
Are
breathe
you
it.
sure? This sounds really bad. Can you try?
No, I know I can't.
Okay.
I've tried. I've tried before, like in other times in my life. Don't ask me why, but
Okay. Okay. No, thanks.
my aunt like did
Uh,
tests. She's like, do these things,
your
and
mom
she's like, try to go in there. My aunt, yeah,
Your
she's like,
aunt.
yeah. She's like, do things. She like tested me. I don't know, didn't stuff didn't work out.
Sibyl's like patting herself down, looking for like her journals that are God knows where at this point.
So did you have them in a bag on your back? Because I know that you
No!
guys kitted yourself out. So your bags, while they
No,
are
I think
not
she's
entirely
holding it.
waterproof because they were meant for, caves, they would at least contain things. So you had your notepad out and you have no idea where it is?
Probably. I think like the like she's carrying a couple different notepads with her, but like the most recent one was like out in her hand when they fell, probably. So like,
Okay.
yeah.
Beautiful, wonderful. I love it.
Why do I feel like you're lying?
Yeah, call high or low and just roll to see whether or
Good,
not it landed within view.
I believe in
I
you.
think Kael has it. I think that it's about to hit Kael in the back of the head.
Perfect.
Hi. I believe in myself.
Okay.
13?
13, that's higher than a 10.
High
So you know what? Just for the sheer amusement of it, yeah, like you dropped it in the process of everything falling out from under you. And there's the slight weight of that, along with a couple of still breaking rocks up at the top. That first there's a pebble, and then another pebble, and then it just cartoon wise, and then just pop, 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 pop. Kael, are you hit in the head by this falling notepad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That probably is what shakes a little sense into me too, because I like had like another big scream as I'm hit, but then I can see it.
Yep. And you
It's just
see
a
it
book.
falling after you.
Yeah, and that makes me remember that my friends just fell down a pit of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attempt to regain some measure of composure.
Okay, go ahead and give
Some
me
deep
an
breathing.
intellect roll to attempt to regain your
To
mental
get my
composure,
shit together.
to get your shit together. Since you are in
14.
since you are in a panicked state, I was gonna give you 4, so 12 or better. So yeah, you do manage
Okay,
to get
great.
your shit together. You can also feel that your completely wrenched shoulder is starting to give out.
Okay.
Kael,
Do
come
I
on down.
see-
It's just water.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad.
You're alive?
Yeah,
But-
it's
yeah,
a lot of
of
shouting
course.
and echoing, but you can faintly hear them saying that. Yeah.
There's like a 3-second delay.
There's no good handholds nearby, are there?
You could theoretically, with enough effort and high enough rolls, like brace your shoulders against one side and like brace the very bottoms of your feet
Yes.
against the other, because you are tall enough to do that, and try to position yourself to like create a hook or a loop
Yeah.
on that outcrop that you
Kale
caught.
would love to attempt that.
Because
Elena
you are a
knows
climber,
I'm
so
probably
yeah.
going to fail,
Yeah.
and then I will fall into the water, and it'll be very funny.
Now, like again, this would be a very difficult thing to do. So
Yeah.
for
I am
most
a
people, that is
specialized climber.
okay. So
I
yeah,
should
so for most
hopefully-
people, that would be a 6, so 18 or better. You said you have training or you are specialized.
Specializing. Yeah.
So that brings it down by 2. Your other one would have been dropped down as another point as well, but you had already succeeded, so that's okay. So that brings it down to a difficulty level of 4. Do you have anything else that you would attribute to that?
I have my climbing gear, but I don't have it out, probably.
Yeah, you're kind of
Yeah.
leaning
So I'm just
against
going to
it.
put some effort onto it.
Okay, sounds good. So a level of effort as well,
so that
which brings it down to a 3. So that's a 9 or
3.
better.
12.
12. Good. Awesome. You didn't even need that effort, but I guess
Nice.
in some case,
I mean,
sometimes it's better that you did. Yeah. All
effort
right,
always worth it.
yeah, so with that, it is very much you are putting yourself horizontal in a narrow crevice of rock. It is like the sheer split between portions of like a cave, essentially. That it's hard to really get an idea of how this happened in the position and state that you're in, but you have managed to, while holding on and like getting your elbow over this outcropping, swing your legs up to where you've got your feet planted against one side and your shoulders and neck kind of pressed against the other, enough to give your hands like room to move around and say, get any of your climbing equipment from your bag. It is difficult,
Lovely.
but you're succeeding
Yeah.
in doing so.
I imagine I have the climbing harness on as part of my like gear. So I'm really trying to just get the rope and maybe like a python or two.
Okay. So if you're going to just loop the rope, then that's not even going to be a roll. You are already positioned
Perfect.
to be able to do so.
Yeah.
If you want to try and hammer pythons in while you're in that horizontal position and you're like doing this,
That's rough.
that's
yeah.
going to be a roll. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a roll.
I'll trust the stalactite or whatever I'm tying the rope around.
Yeah, it's a rough outcropping of rock,
Yeah.
which
All right.
is why
I
you
will-
like cut into your hands and wrench to your shoulder.
Yeah. I'll secure my knots on there.
Okay.
I can see, which is weird, but I'm not going to think about that too hard right now.
Yeah.
So I can see the knot that I'm making as I'm all
Yep.
wedged in here.
Yep.
Test it a little bit, put like some of my weight on it. The rock doesn't seem to be crumbling.
Nope. It didn't crumble under your weight to begin with when you created that sudden jerked force,
Yeah.
which is much worse than steady force from a rope.
Just a moment. I'll be down in a moment.
Okay. So
Cool beans.
full on rope climb down.
Yeah. Yeah, rope climb.
Let's
And
give it
rappel.
one more roll on that, since you do have an injured shoulder. So normal DC of like 12, so a 4 difficulty class of 4.
Gotcha. Do I want to throw effort on this?
Up to
I
you.
think so.
you.
Kael is terrified.
Yeah.
So that's a 3. I need 9 or better. Well, I rolled a 19, so
Whew, okay, so yeah, in a combat situation, that would be a minor effect. So you manage to get it wrapped appropriately around your leg and foot to where you have a nice controlled, like, slide down to where you're not even having to put a lot of strain on the injured area.
phew.
The rope kind of dangles just outside of the open, cracked area. And you can see down, and there is definitely a wide pond. Looking around, you can barely see, like, kind of a ledge next to one of the walls that someone might be able to sit on, but there's not so much a beach for this underwater pond as in there's an open area that water has collected in. So most of the walls seem to be just sheer rock. And you're dangling amidst, like, the strings of glowing blue worms.
How close is the ledge to where this crevice leads out?
It's at a sloped, like, 20 degrees, so you're not gonna be able to easily climb while in a partially, like, angled position without like getting yourself set up with like pitons and another rope situation, and you can also see like Sibell kind of floating at the surface and Jax just backstroking down on the pond. You can also see something large moving around in the water, good like half of the cave away.
As I'm still clung to the wall, I'm like, there's something in the water with you. I would get out if I were you.
What?
What?
There's something down there with you in the water.
Yeah, Jax is here.
No, it's how big is it?
The size of a horse-ish, not horse-shaped. It's just kind of a
No.
shadow in the water, just kind of moving around.
Big fish, get out!
What?
I'm just going
Just come down here.
Did you say you have
Oh,
one
no.
wish?
Did you see my
Absolutely not.
journal?
Swim, you fools! Swim.
Swim, you fools, swim. Thank you, Gandalf.
They say to swim.
I think I'm looking for my journal. It'll be fine. We are
Yeah.
swimming.
So
I'll
since
help you.
the journal did hit Kael on the head and then go ricocheting further, you would have seen something fall from the crevice and into the water a little bit closer to where you had also fallen. So like you need to kind of swim a little bit because momentum took you, but there might be like a journal soaked and gradually sinking into the water's surface a little further away.
I'm gonna go get that.
Okay.
Is that close to where the big fish is?
You wouldn't really know?
Yeah. Well, Sibyl's gonna be like, "Oh, hold on a sec. I think I see it over there," and just start doing a little doggy paddle in like
Okay.
a very heavy cardigan. Like,
Yeah,
this is
so,
not
like,
going well.
You're like
I'm a
keeping your head
Victorian
above
woman.
water. Yeah, you're keeping your head above water. The water's maybe 30 feet deep at most, which is why
Deep.
he had the opportunity to like full on eel his way. But remember, you guys had a far drop, so the 30 feet deep is good. You're not going to stand in it, but yeah, it's good for like momentum and the break of the water and everything, so that you didn't smash your faces into the bottom of the pond.
Didn't die. Yep.
Yeah, but that's also deep enough for things to exist in.
Not at all dangerous things.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go swim over and try and get my journal.
Okay. So you've got that. You've got the heavy bag of stuff on your back. It's making movement and speed in the water a little bit difficult. You're not exactly the strongest individual in the group. Jax
No.
being perpetually stronger than both of you isn't having as much trouble like just swimming around with a big old bag on his back.
Jax,
Yeah.
can you get this? Hold
Oh, hold on. I gotta find you. Where'd you go?
on. Jax, Marco.
Polo. I'm coming.
there's- It's like a dimly, like, imagine trying to walk through a dimly lit ballroom. It is big. There is faint light. It's not well lit. So, like, as you get closer to things and each other, it's easy to see. Especially up towards the ceiling of it where these cave worms are. It's very easy to see because there's light up there. But there's a lot of area for that light to diffuse through. Like everything has a slightly blue hue cast to it that's right near the water because the water is reflecting that up. So seeing into the water is even more difficult because there's not bright light to transpose through it. So Jax, you can tell where Sibell is. You can follow her voice. You can see her outline. As you get closer, you can definitely make her out. She was able to find her bag or her book. So you can see each other for the most part. It's just, seeing each other in shadows in the dark at night type of thing.
So all right, okay. Let's get out. Let's get somewhere so we
Yeah,
can dry.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna start moving towards wherever I think is out of this
Okay.
of this pond.
Is the shape getting closer?
No.
Okay, good.
You
good.
can see it moving around. It does not seem to be tracking them the way that a predator would be.
Good. Then I'm not freaking out, although I am watching with bated breath.
The direction that Jax is swimming is in that direction, though.
Okay. Turn around. Left.
He goes right.
I'm going right too. I'm just following you at this point.
Yep.
I imagine I'm holding on to Jax, just like being pulled along.
Like a life preserver.
Yeah. Like, I was gonna say, like the dogs that rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
for
you can see
skiing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in the water.
Bernards, yeah.
You're a Newfoundland dog.
Yeah.
They rescue people from the water.
Oh,
If Jax were a dog, he
Swimming
would be
through.
that dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just swimming through. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's going wherever he thinks is land.
So perched partially against the cave ceiling / held up by the rope, you watch as they do not take your direction and swim toward what you can see as some sort of undulating dark shape in the water a little further away.
Other left. You're swimming towards the thing.
Oh. The other way.
Okay. So they turn around. Let's say they get about halfway to the wall, because swimming in clothing with bags on
Hard.
takes a while. It is very difficult. Like, even Jax would have some issues. You do see Sibell, like, occasionally just drop underneath the surface of the water for far too long and then come right back up and just keep swimming.
oh, that's weird.
Good.
That's a weird thing.
But
Stop doing that.
I'm testing
Then-
things. It's fine.
the shape seems to get larger, as if it's,
Uh-oh.
starting to surface. Because
Swim faster.
So when you saw it, it seemed like about horse-sized, but it was deep down.
Oh
And
no.
you know how light and shape and size works in water, so as it gets closer, it gets bigger.
Can I, if I was able to wiggle out of my backpack, would it drop onto the ledge or into the water?
It will drop into the water because it goes ceiling and then slope away toward the ledge.
Right. Gotcha.
At about
I'd
a
have to,
20
like,
degree angle.
throw it.
Yeah, at
with one
about a
arm.
20 degree angle.
Yeah.
So you're throwing the bag at the thing, or towards the ledge, or...
Towards the ledge, I
Okay.
think.
Okay, into the
I
water.
want to be
towards
ready
the
to
ledge.
act if I need to. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, make a might check
Honestly,
to try
Actually,
and throw
I have-
your bag.
extra rope, don't
Yeah,
I?
yeah, you got plenty
Can
of
I-
rope.
Can I tie the rope onto this rope and
I-
then try and lower my bag?
So I would suggest, just in terms of physics and the fact that you are using the rope to support yourself,
That's true.
to first hammer a piton in to
Yeah.
brace the rope against, so that you're not trying to tie a rope to a rope that you are currently
That's
using
fair.
for yourself.
Let's
I-
give
like,
this a
just,
shot.
Just to be a little nicer to you, like,
Yeah.
that's really difficult to
That's
not
hard.
just full on fall off headfirst into the water.
And the entire time I'm muttering to myself, I'm like, these fools are going to get killed. Everyone's going to die. There's something in the water. I don't like this. We fell.
Are you saying
I'm
something?
not having a day.
Yeah.
I just
So go ahead and make a task difficulty. You're just to hammer a piton in, and you had a 19 on that rope climb. So you're good. So we'll call this like a difficulty 3, so 12 or 9 or better, to just
That is a 9.
So you're good. You're good. So you get it hammered in, and your secondary rope looped through it, so that you can create kind of that pulley type of system that helps you to belay more easily. Because climbers use a belay system where it is a double through the pitons so that they can loosen rope and go further, or tighten rope and go higher.
Thank goodness for all those Sunday practices
And
and
I can see
weekend
Maggie
practices.
Like,
side of
wait,
the cliff.
what?
I'm trying to mentally map out how ropes work.
Okay, so you know,
know.
okay, so you know how a pulley system, like you've got the top point of a pulley system, and it can be pulled down on one side, which will raise the other. That's the basic
It's a V
concept.
rope.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
like it's that's the basic.
I went to
concept
theater
of,
school.
Like,
So you had to deal with
this.
ropes then.
yeah. Like so it's like you pull
Someone was
on
not
this
stage
side
cash.
and it raises the other. You know, like raising something
Yeah.
into the rafters of a theater production.
It's the two. Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
It's the two part that I was trying to be like.
Yeah, so you've got the rope looped through a piton, which is basically a metal spike with a hole, like a hole at the end, a loop to put the rope through. That's what a piton is.
Yeah.
So the rope is looped through there so that you can pull one side and help to pull yourself up, or loosen that and drop down. And that is the basic concept behind belaying, which is using a rope to jump down.
So the entire time I'm doing this like with practiced ease because
Yeah.
I've done this frequently, while glancing over my shoulder to make sure that like the giant monster hasn't risen up to eat all of you, and swearing under my breath the entire time.
So there may be a quarter away from it, a quarter of the way away from it, as this thing surfaces. And it is big. It is eel-like. It is very similar to that described creature that was in the river that you guys heard rumors of. And it
Good.
slowly starts easing towards them. It's barely disturbing the water around it.
Hey, don't bite them. You stay away.
So you guys hear Kael
Shouting.
going, "Don't bite them, you stay away."
Yes.
Do we see it?
You don't necessarily hear it because, again, smooth movement through the water. But if you look back, you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a giant snake lizard-like creature just slowly eeling its way through the surface of the water at you.
Swim faster. Swim faster.
its head is probably-
Jax, I need you to swim faster.
Yeah, its head is probably big enough to where it could take like half of you in a bite.
Swim faster.
I'm-
So faster.
Are we far enough toward? Are we close enough
You-
toward the surface or the land where I could stand, or no?
It's a sharp cutoff, so it's not like there is a shore for the land to get higher on.
Got it.
But you are maybe a long distance away. So between 10 and I believe that's 100, either 50 or 100 feet. Because a short distance is up to 10 feet. So you're still at least a long distance away.
Got it. Yeah, I'm gonna swim faster then. I'm actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab Sibell and try to throw her
Okay.
further along.
Sibell is
I have
trying
no
to
footing
get
here, so
her to
there's
get
not.
off.
It's all
the-
arm.
So
All arm.
all arm. Okay. So So you reach behind you to grab Sibel as Sibel is trying to take off the sweater now in the process of being grabbed.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it more difficult on Jax, so
I'm so
we'll
sorry.
call that as a difficulty class of 5.
We're a well-oiled machine. We're very, good
Very
at it.
well oiled.
I'm like
Cool.
just slightly drowning, just trying to get this like massive sweater off.
I'm gonna expend effort on it.
Yeah. So, expending effort that takes 3 for your first level of effort from might again. But eases it by 1.
Edge, right?
And 2 if
Yeah.
you have an edge, but eases it by 1.
Cool beans.
So that brings it down to 4, so you only need a 12 or better.
All right, come on, dice. 16.
16. Very good. So, yeah, like, with Sibel's cardigan sweater, like, halfway over her head, so she feels something grab onto her while
waterboarded.
it is, yeah, while it is like being struggled to be ripped off. You feel something grab you and just haul you through the water. So are you trying to throw her, or are you trying to just get her to move faster?
You could just ask.
I think Jax is trying to throw her. Because
So you
in his mind, he's trying. Essentially, what his goal is just to. I'm doing this chaotic, and I'm leaving it as he's just doing it. There's no explanation. But me, what I'm thinking is Jax is going to get Sibel as far away as he can, and then try to interpose himself between this thing and Sibel.
You're gonna go full Crocodile Dundee on this guy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So yeah. So short distance is 10 to 50. 10 to 50. So I had the distances wrong. It is within a short distance. It's under 50 feet away. But yeah, so you feel yourself as you're like struggling this cardigan off of your face, and you drop it in the water as you come up out of the water, and like stone being skipped across just get flung forward, and you at that moment at least see that it was Jackson, not this creature, that like grabbed hold of you and threw you instead of trying to eat you.
Good.
Great. I don't know. I'm imagining like a slow-mo, like meeting his eyes as I like immediately get like flung very far away. Like, okay.
So you go like skidding over the water because there's no leverage to get you up and out. So it's literally just getting you up to the top of it and just like a skipping stone, pa 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 pa, towards the ledge. You see the ledge. You see that you're maybe 5 to 10 feet away from it, so you can easily just like doggy paddle to get yourself up onto the ledge and have some sort of footing. As Jax, with both bags still, is left behind and trying to like wiggle his body between you and this creature. All the while, Kael is up there getting the like piton hammered in. Don't you eat them! And
Down.
now at
Head
least
down.
you are now at least at a belaying point to where you can hook your bag and or use that to more properly swing instead of a loose rope.
Sounds good. And I'm keeping an eye over my shoulder just to see what's happening down here. Is this thing gonna try and bite Jax? I will do something different than if it just comes and like noses around.
Okay. So Jax, this thing is approaching. It's smoother looking than a crocodile would be. It kind of looks like an overly large snake, but its head isn't quite that angular. It has more of a maw than a snake really has typically. But it is perfectly smooth, and you can see like the type of frond that you would see on an iguana, starting to like poke up and rise out of the water the way that animals do when they are interested by something that they are approaching or that they are observing. And it starts to give you a berth and circle around you.
Fun. The backpack's also thrown now.
Okay.
One by one, I'm just gonna take them off, and also to whoever I threw Sibell.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm just gonna wait for something to happen.
Okay. So
After
you're just eye contact, spinning in a circle, like, okay, I'm gonna throw this way.
Yeah, and just not taking my eyes off of where I think it is. But yeah,
Okay.
just there
Getting
the whole time.
strong. I might wrestle a bear vibes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah,
This
so-
would happen.
So Sibell, there is enough light to where you can see the blue of the hanging like silkworm type things reflecting off of this thing's perfectly smooth scales and giving a blue
Jax,
tint
maybe-
to Jax's like white dreads. Kael, you're starting to get yourself belayed down and you're trying to work your way down. Now remember, it's at an angle. Are you trying to like rock climber your way down the slope, or are you going to drop into the water? Okay.
I think I'll rock climb down the slope.
Okay. So let's do a climbing difficulty of 5, so 15. But you've got your rock climbing gear, which eases it by 1, and then you've got your
And I'm
specialty,
skilled.
so that eases it by a further 2. So 4, 3, 2. So yeah, you have to roll a 6 or better.
All right.
Don't roll a
Believe in
1.
you.
I rolled a 15, so
15, very good. So you're like,
all that climbing club practice.
yeah, so you're like spider climbing with like ropes and the occasional baton your way through while like aggressively watching this giant snake creature
Yeah.
starting to like legitimately predator circle Jax. The front, like the fronds of its display have like spiked up, and you have a little bit more color definition than the other two since you're already able to see in the dark. It's not full definition. This isn't full sunlight, but you can see hints of like purples and reds within the blue. You know, the bright colors that predators typically
Like a warning
have
sign.
on them.
Yeah.
And a large fin at the back of its tail. And then it gets closer to you, Jax. And let's roll initiative.
Right, yeah, cool beans. How we doing?
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, how does rolling initiative
All
work
right,
here?
so initiative
God.
in the Cypher
Rolled a
system.
1.
Initiative in the Cypher system, I believe, is a speed task. If you have anything from your focus or description or whatever that would ease it, then that basically just makes it so that you beat certain things that come on the same roll that you got.
It isn't a defense task, is it?
No, it
It's
is just a speed
regular
task.
speed. Gotta get cool beans. Just making sure. Yeah, I don't have anything that would help me there.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're just rolling your speed task in that case.
So that is
So we got a 1 from
16.
Kael, 16
Got a
from
1.
Jax, 4 from Sibell. All right. So
Paralyzed by fear.
so Jax, you do definitely go before this creature that is now mouth open, swimming right for you. The other two go after.
Great.
No,
Cool. Good.
Very
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Um,
this looks like basically some sort of large, dragonic water snake of some kind.
Good. Damn
This,
cage serpents.
for anyone who can see Jax's face, there is just a grin
Yeah.
that's spread across. His teeth are showing. You can see his canines are, kind of sharpened.
Yeah.
A little too sharp. They shouldn't be that sharp. It's not a lot, but it's enough to be that's not normal.
Yeah.
As it's coming towards me, I'm just gonna hook it. I'm just gonna left hook right to the face.
Right to the face.
Can land.
Okay.
no.
So,
Punching it.
for those unfamiliar with the Cypher system, you basically can do an action as your turn. I'm also saying this for the players. What Excel is using for Jax is called the attack action. Within an immediate distance, so 10 feet or shorter, he is able to use basically a melee attack, in this case, a punch against a target. If he wanted to expend effort, he would be able to go a short distance, which is anywhere between 10 and 50 feet, with a basically difficulty having to roll to make sure that he's able to get there fast enough to be able to do the attack. As this thing is definitely within 10 feet of you now, you do not have to roll for that. So you are just rolling to attack to see if you have successfully hit this creature.
That is a 12.
12 will successfully hit this creature.
Lovely.
So, how much damage does a punch from Jax do?
Our good strong boy.
Yeah, our big strong boy who needs no weapon.
I don't know how much this affects this thing, but Jax, there's a brief pause where the smile goes away and he just draws back his fist and it comes back and he just slams his fist right into it, dealing 6 damage from his punch.
6 damage. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, damn. All right, so it gets punched right in the face, full on. You have punched the shark in the face underwater type of move. Only it's right there at the water surface, and there's this kind of snarling sound as water rushes from its mouth, because it is water breathing. So it's more of the hum of tissue and water and air all meeting as it reels back from that hit. You have seriously heard it. You see, from the gills that are along the side of its face, because it is right there. You've got all of the detail. That some blackish looking blood starts seeping into the water, and it reels back. This thing is going to attempt to take a bite out of you as a response, because that moves on to its round. I would like you to roll a speed defense task of 12 or better.
I am trained in these when I'm not in armor.
So that means that you only have to roll a 9 or better.
Oh yeah, come on. Ooh, that is that's a 6.
That's
It's
6.
fine. It's okay.
All right, so yes, it reels back and then turns, whipping its head, and tries to bite the fist that just punched it, dealing 3 damage. You can feel its fangs tearing into your blue flesh before it tries to whip you in the direction of the wall.
Lovely.
I would like a secondary might defense in this case, to avoid your grapple, essentially.
These because of my chaotic nature are hindered. My defense
Yeah,
test.
so
for
instead of
your-
12, that is a 15.
Lovely. Come. That's a 3. It's fine.
That's a
It's
3.
okay.
All right, so yeah, it's got a hold of you and it is whipping you in the direction of the wall. So, Sybil, you see Jax skimming through the water in your direction as this dragonic snake thing has a hold of his arm and is like just right past you. So you see him going. How would you like to react to that as you are the next in line for the order?
I can do a thing.
You can do a thing.
I can do a thing. I think it's one of the ones that I'm allowed to that's called distortion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you using a power?
Yeah.
You have
I
powers?
do.
Yeah.
I think so. Like Sibyl's pulled herself up onto the edge. I think is that what we had established that I'm like out of the water.
It's like a 3-foot, very rough, broken ledge.
Great. Sibyl's like out of the water and like wringing out part of like her button down or whatever, and sees Jax just go like skipping by, and I think she like reaches a hand out to try and like grab onto him and does not like get him, but essentially like as their hands as their hands brush, I'm going to I essentially am casting distortion, which means that Jax just rapidly starts shifting between his normal appearance and a blot of darkness, and now has an asset on speed defense rolls.
What?
Yes.
What?
Appreciate
just
it.
like
I love it.
and then immediately again like a slow-mo, like what is going on, as like Jax just winks out of existence and Sibyl's like, oh my god, oh no, what did I do? And then comes back like a second later, like 20 feet away, or however far.
All right.
So I don't know what's going on.
From this arching slope of cave wall that you are like working your way down, what you see, Kael, is this thing going from predatorily circling Jax to, okay, this is a meal, right toward him, and him just whop right into this thing's nose, which in response it grabs hold of his arm and tries to just full on head fling him towards the wall. You see Sibell go, what? Try to reach for him, and why would Sibell, of all people, try and grab hold of him and play tug-of-war against a snake? But when their hand, when her hand just claps against him in passing, he just goes as a dark blot, still in this thing's mouth because he's grappled. And then back into Jax, back into darkness, as this thing in utter confusion drops him back into the water again in response.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
How are you taking your turn?
Well, I rolled a 1, which I think means that you get a free DM intrusion on me.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten that.
So do you want me to be paralyzed in fear for a round? Because this is a lot. This is an awful lot.
Let's say that you become tangled in your rope for this round.
Good. Yeah. Good.
So I'm not going to impose the fact that you are frozen in fear, but you are attempting to follow all of this action while dealing with a bunch of ropes, and you become tangled in the ropes for this round. Whatever you think you are capable of doing that does not require the movement outside of the ropes, you would still be able to do.
All right. So as I'm like, Jax, get out of the water if you can. As I'm trying to disentangle myself, I'm just giving advice, and I will do advice from a friend.
Okay.
Which means whatever Jax attempts next is at a trained.
That's your advice.
Yes.
Get out of the water.
Be better out of the water.
Get
This
out.
is its territory. Get out of the water.
Yes.
I've been telling you to get out of the water. Please listen this
You
time.
didn't.
That's what they were
No.
saying.
Yes.
Okay.
It all
right.
makes sense now.
Okay, so
So you're trained now. Whatever you attempt next, hopefully
yeah.
swimming.
so
We all know it's not swimming.
that does come back around to Jax. You are like blurring between darkness and visibility, but you know where you are and you can see outside of this distorted view around you easily. You are now in the water, kind of treading water. What do you choose to do for your round? The thing
How
is
close
maybe
is it to me?
the thing is maybe 15 feet away because it dropped you and is partially out of the water as well. Like it's reared up out of the water because it was in the process of swinging you around like a dog with a toy.
I mean, we all know who I am. You don't even have to ask. You
You're
know,
gonna
like
you're gonna rush
We're gonna-
forward and punch it.
I honestly don't even know why
Yeah.
I told you to run. It was never going to be followed.
Yep.
So
It's gonna- it bit my arm. It has to pay. Yeah.
So to move outside of a long distance, you would need to, I believe, roll a speed task to distance difficulty of 4. So 12 or better. It is a regular speed task, not a speed defense task. But you do have an asset from your advice from a friend on that.
I'll use it.
Yeah.
My advice
Use
is
that here.
swim your ass off.
Yeah, you are swimming your ass off to get closer.
Yeah.
You're not getting further away, as was
Going the
suggested.
wrong way.
So that's a 14.
14 definitely gets there, which allows you to make your attack on this same turn.
Oh yeah, great time. That's another 14. Nice, consistent.
14 very much hits. So you do another 6 damage from
Yep.
you, like, swimming, and you're just like, I can't reach its head, so right in the snake gut.
Yeah, whatever
it's-
this long part is, it's right, it's right
Like,
there. It's
The long
taking it.
part, that's its name.
Yeah.
Wider than
Yeah.
your body, wider
Part
than
long
your
part.
body, torso neck-ish, like
Yep.
emerged from the water, and you just like right into it. You can't see, like, there's not a pre-existing opening for blood to come out, and your fists are not currently sharp, but you see like the indentation of damaged scales and whatever skeletal structure was within as this thing makes another one of those hissing type of noises. It's strange because it's not meant to make noises. It doesn't really have vocal cords, and falls back into the water. You are not sure if it is retreating. You're not sure if it is just sinking, but it does not seem to be on the attack currently, as you have done 12 damage to this shit.
Like
Just
taking
in
a
2
meat tenderizer
punches.
to a salmon fillet.
Yeah, full
Great.
on.
Just with your
Grand.
fists.
Yeah.
I need no weapon.
You just essentially hit a boa constrictor with a fucking bat, okay? A couple of times. This thing has fallen into the water. You don't know if
Oh.
it is sinking, dead, retreating, but it is no longer posed aggressively to come at you. Are you going to try and dive down after it? We are out of combat now. Are you going to try and dive down after it to finish it off? Or are you just going to be like, okay, I'm getting out of the water?
You would all see. I'm still assuming he's still like shifting for the moment.
Just
Oh,
for
yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a
But,
full
oh my
minute
God.
of you just like,
There's like whenever he's back to his normal self from that, you would all just see him kind of stare down like into the water, even though he can't see it. He knows he can't, but he's still staring at wherever it went down. And then smile comes across his face, and he just swims happily back to the shore. He's like, "Everybody okay? Yeah,
God, Jax.
So, just to give this a little bit of cinematics, like it drops him, and he just swims forward, just darkness in the water, and then Jax, and then one of those moments of the darkness receding, and it's Jax. You see his fist come forward, and then darkness surround him in the area as he punches, and then this thing is just collapsed into the water. It is like adventure movie.
God.
Yeah. And he's still shifting as he gets back over to you, Sibell. You just watched all of this up close and personal.
You okay?
Great. Yeah, I'm good. Are you? Are you okay?
Yeah. What did you do to me?
I don't know.
Can you stop it?
Yeah.
Is this gonna keep going?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
Did you do that?
No.
Me? No.
Probably not.
And Kael, like, shimmies their way down onto the ledge with them.
I'm the only one that's still dry.
Yep.
Good.
I don't think so. I was just thinking really hard.
Do you mind? Okay, next time you have like a shadow, I'm gonna try to like poke it, poke your arm.
Probably fizzles out by now.
Yeah.
Couple more times.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time you get down there, it's sputtering out gradually around him.
Yeah.
But it just kind of looks like
poke you in the arm.
wisps of black fog, like, drifting off of him as it dissipates.
Well, that's alarming. I'm not going to think too hard about that right now.
Okay, so I just want to, stuff aside, whatever that was, and however you saw whatever that was down there from way up there, the main thing is that what did you think of the fight? Like, I know you didn't believe me. I know you didn't. I know you're like, oh, giant snakes are dangerous, bears are dangerous, right? But like, you never see me in action, and now you know, right? Like
that was exceedingly impressive.
Yeah.
Are you all right though? You're bleeding just a little bit.
Oh no, yeah, it's
All
just
down the
a
arm.
it's just a wound, nothing too crazy.
Do you need to bind it to wash it out? I wouldn't recommend
Probably.
this water, perhaps.
No.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that was whatever. I'm pretty sure that thing has never brushed its teeth, But yeah, no, you probably should clean it out. Do you have any?
I think I have something. I'll rifle around in my bag. Sibell, are you all right? You didn't get bit, did you?
No, I'm fine.
Excellent, good. Well,
Sibyl's just staring.
Yeah.
Just staring at the water, like, oh god, like shell shocked.
After Jax cleans it, he grabs a literal fistful of dirt and just.
I like painstakingly have like cleaned your wounds out with some fresh water from our canteens, and then you just rub dirt in it afterwards.
Yeah, rub some dirt in it.
Good.
Nature's Band-Aid,
Oh, it is full of all sorts of things. To each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, which the dirt down there, as a reminder, since this is mostly rock, is like crushed bits of fallen rock, moss, and algae.
Oh, it'll be the moss then, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Which the moss, which Jax would not know, but you would know as a cave dweller, it does actually have styptic property.
Oh,
so
nice.
it
Good.
will stop the blood from flowing.
I assume he knew this all along, and I'm like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Very good.
Failing upward.
Yeah.
Failing up. But yeah, so you have successfully stopped the bleeding. Are you going to do a recovery roll, or are you just going to kind of wear your badge of honor / bandage of honor as you guys attempt to figure out where you're going?
I will do a recovery on because there was a lot of a lot of stuff went
Yeah,
down.
you took some damage.
Just a little.
So here we go. I'm gonna roll it. That's 4. That's fine.
All right, yeah. Then I believe with the initial fall and everything, that might get you back to full, wouldn't it?
I know. I was at 12 before because I believe I tried to put effort into the
Oh, right.
Yes,
in that
yes.
one.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put effort and stuff. Okay, but
So,
yeah. So you
it
at
brought
least
me back almost to 12. I'm at
yeah
11
you
now.
guys you did decent. Well, looking around Kael as the one who can see further than the rest, like they mostly see like the shadows of the walls. You can see further along while the ledge does kind of taper off and break off into the water. It does lead toward a crack in the cavern wall a little further along that seems to have kind of not necessarily a creek, but probably wet rock, wet solid rock in that direction, a little bit off to the left further, kind of where this thing was residing / guarding. No
Right,
telling what's inside of the tunnel.
Yeah. Normally, I would suggest staying here until we dry you out and warm you up a little bit, but given that we're not sure if that situation has been dealt with, perhaps we should get a little further from the water before we settle in to rest. And I will
Sounds good.
start heading off towards the crevice.
All right, yeah. So you get a good 30 feet along, and that's where like the footing becomes a little difficult. It's not truly a walkway, or if it had been, it's not anymore, just through time and erosion and lack of upkeep. So you're gonna have to either kind of swim or wall climb or something to get the extra 20 feet to where you see what looks to be, yeah, that's definitely roughly hewn steps in the rock leading down into the water and up into this little crevice in the wall.
Oh, interesting. I'm definitely going with the wall crawling,
Okay. So you
and
like,
I will lead the way. The others can
Fine.
follow as they wish.
yeah.
Yep. I will follow suit.
So you're gonna wall crawl as well.
Yep.
So everyone
Mhm.
Climb back to the
attempting
wall and
to
scoop.
like use handholds and footholds to like ninja warrior their way across the wall to the next part of the ledge for 20 feet. Again, this is 20 feet. I'm gonna require a difficulty 5 climbing check. That is
So
made
3.
made easier for you, Kael.
Fun. Oh yeah.
16.
18.
Also 16.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
y'all are
everyone
good.
easily, like just following in Kael's handholds and footholds, you easily just like one after the other. Sibyl's like a natural hand at this. It's like with an 18, that is ridiculously good.
My hands are wet. It's grippy now.
Yeah.
It shouldn't make sense, but it does.
No, yeah.
That's what the little
It's
wrinkles
true.
are for. That's
Yeah.
what the little wrinkles are for.
You're just a very fast learner. You can see us doing it. You're like, got it.
Yeah, so just like right on through. 20 feet with those rolls. Easy. And you see where, it is a roughly hewn arch of stone, and then step down into the water. So you're able to let go, and like your boots will splash into the water, and then it's actual steps up onto this kind of landing that leads into a broken part of the wall and some sort of tunnel-like hallway.
Nice. Well, I will lead the way up that tunnel.
Yeah.
So like tell me how many people you've seen knock out a like giant snake thing in water, like
One now, but that's definitely it.
Sibell, you look like you're trying to say something.
Kael, do you know where we are?
I'm working on that. Because of the fall, I only have a very rough idea of where we may be. I will need to find some sort of landmark or a tunnel that I know.
Great. Cool. Okay.
On the
After
plus
you.
side, we have supplies for several days and enough fresh water, as long as we use it sparingly to last us hopefully long enough for rescue.
Yeah.
If anyone comes down here.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get out of here. We'll be fine. It'll be okay.
So you walk into this cracked tunnel of a hallway, and you take the first turn, and that is where we will take our break for the evening. And we will be back in, let's say, 10 minutes. But congratulations on your first semi-combat.
We did an adventure.
We didn't
Yeah.
die.
Nice.
You didn't die, only one
I got
injury.
to fight the giant snake thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everything's great.
You too hit that thing. What the fuck?
I'm legit impressed, though.
Yeah.
Legit
Yeah.
impressed.
I told you Jax is here to fight.
Damn.
Okay?
But yeah, whew, yeah, you guys did great. Let me go ahead and transition over. We will see you, lovely audience people, in about 10 minutes.
I love how our
seeing
relationship
eye
has
tea shop
changed.
owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So we are back, by the way.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so we've got
Hello.
a seeing eye tea shop, a tea host with us. It's wonderful. We have successfully defeated the first combat of the campaign. Like, this is the first time they've fought anything. It was fairly minor. It was only a couple of rounds, but I am very proud of my group for not dying.
Did
It's the
realize
goal.
TPK on the
You know?
first
need
encounter.
to figure some stuff out. Did make me
We're very
realize
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you guys did very good. Support did support, fighter did fighter. It was a full thing. You guys, I'm very proud of you. Good job. Good job. But yeah.
Try their best.
So, as you venture into this crevice within the wall, this kind of cracked tunnel of a hallway, you realize that, yeah, you definitely no longer have the lantern that you had been carrying, because that dropped along with you and is probably somewhere at the bottom of that watery whatever. Kinder is not with you. Kinder didn't fall down with you guys, or is just in a different portion, but you guys didn't see them. I know, puppy dog.
Yeah. I feel like we did a good look for them before we left.
Yeah,
Just to be
so
like, not down the
they're-
water, fish didn't eat them. Good.
Yeah, so
Okay.
no idea where, but you guys kind of got separated. Hard to
Hopefully
tell.
they're still up at the surface in safety.
Yeah, hard to tell what exactly happened. But you are now in this kind of cavern tunnel, this hallway-esque type thing. The floor is cracked and slightly uneven, but still smoother than you expect a cave tunnel or cave floor to be. It's not nearly as rough. It's not nearly as, like, filled with debris or growth or whatever. And you do, even as you're wandering along, see signs of passage, possibly that man made out of stone, because things are, like, there's some moss that there's kind of a footprint in, things like that. But it is dark, it is rough and rocky. There are none of those hanging glowworm things to help provide you with light.
So as we go, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for any kind of landmarks or clues to how deep we might be. The fact that people have passed through here before tells me we're not that deep, because clearly other moles have come through here.
No, just one set that seems fairly recent.
Okay, so maybe it was that guy.
Yeah, and you know that this is the direction that the guy came from.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, and I'm going to be just walking along, completely forgetting that the rest of you can't see
Yep.
very well in the dark.
Yep.
Ow,
You
my
know,
shin.
It's just
Yeah,
bright
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah, there's the occasional stumble, definitely.
Oh, sorry. I'll slow down. Watch. There's a crack there.
Can we like tie a rope to one another or something? Like, that's
Kindergarten
gonna-
rope.
That's actually not a bad idea. If one of us
Is that a
falls down
thing?
another crevasse, the others can work as a sort of belay system.
Oh, I just meant so we
hold
didn't
still.
get lost. Okay, yeah.
That works too. And I'll
I didn't
take
know I
our
was a genius.
remaining ropes and tie us into a little string.
Yeah,
All right.
tie us all together. That won't be a bad idea later
Yes.
at all.
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
we're great.
So also, what's your marching order?
I'm definitely in front, I think, because
Yeah.
I'm the one who can see.
So is
I
Jax
feel like
bringing up the back, or is Jax, like, up at the front,
Yeah,
ready to, like, march ahead as necessary?
I think I'd be in the back. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. What I was picturing was you in the middle, and then both of us just attached to the back of, like, on either side of you.
It's not quite that wide.
Yeah.
You know?
We've also got a little play. Like, you could probably go like 5 feet away from the next person if you needed to.
Yeah, this is not like a prison thing.
So we're not like literally tied to each other.
It's like a clip.
We're
or
gonna
something.
3-legged race our way through these tunnels.
Yes. Okay. See that. This makes more sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, like we've got Kael, Sibell, Jax. We've got a Sibell sandwich.
Yep.
Okay.
Little squishy mouse in the middle.
All right, squishy mouse in the
Very
middle.
okay with this.
But yeah, so you guys are wandering along, and you take the occasional turn, and it gets a little tight at the next turn. And then you squeeze out into what is definitely more of a smooth hallway. And glancing back, helping to work Sibell through this kind of crack in the wall, you see that it's a broken off, fallen rock that is closing off what should be a legitimate opening. And as you get Sibell through and like stumble a little bit and both of you look up, it's kind of reflective on the ceiling. Perfectly glass smooth. And as you move around more, it starts to flicker and light up slightly. And you can see the sky, as if through a window.
Oh, that's very unusual. We may be deeper than I thought.
It's a beautiful day out.
Deeper. This isn't. We're deeper, but we can see the sky now? Or.
There's strange things in the cities down here. You never know what you might find next. I suspect this is some sort of effect, rather like the lighting at the market.
Sure.
I mean, that looks like the sky, though, right? Like...
Do you know how it works? Is it powered by
Not an
anything? Is
idea.
it the glowworms?
Oh, it's definitely not the glowworms. Those are natural creatures. I suspect this has some other mechanism.
Does it question like what? It's like what time of day, based off of seeing the sky.
If this is a true reflection, quote unquote, of the sky outside at the moment, it is a nice, fluffy, maybe midday. Like fluffy clouds, beautiful sky.
Yeah, it seems about right to me.
How high is the roof?
Maybe about 12 feet.
Okay.
Sibell picks up a rock off the ground and passes it over to Jax to be like, "Do you think you could hit that?"
Yeah, could I hit it? Yeah, he just talks as hard as he can.
Just
I
as
wanna
hard
see
as
what'll
you can.
happen.
Up.
Yeah.
All right.
I attack the
Seem-
ceiling.
Seems to pass through a cloud, and then you hear a crack, and a piece of glass falls as if like a broken glass surface. That little area seems a little hazy and blurred, but not gone.
Interesting. Okay.
Is it
Sibyl's
a
like,
reflection of the sky?
it could be. Have I heard of anything like this before?
Would you like to make a intellect roll on the
Yeah.
history of the mage era? because that's where you guys are. You're in
Oh, boy.
the area that would be
Oh,
relevant to
boy.
the mage era, not post. So
Love it.
this
And-
is a DC 16, or so DC 5, so it's 15 or better. Do you have anything that you would be able to reduce it by?
Just a general understanding of anthropology, but I don't think that's probably gonna do it.
Yeah, unfortunately
Oh,
not.
Who knows?
You know? Yeah.
So you don't have any like abilities that would allow you to like say be trained in a task for a random turn or anything like that?
I have magic training.
That would
To
reduce
you
it
now.
because this is theoretically
To
a
you.
magical history
shut
thing, so
up.
that would drop it down to a 4, so that's 12 or better. Do you
You
have
see
anything
what-
else?
I define encounter. Like, can I just do luck again?
So you are actually past past the previous encounter, because the encounter was with the snake in that cavern.
Nice.
So this would be considered a new area, so as such, a new encounter.
Cool, because I did roll a 10 before we went through everything, and I would love to re-roll that and just
Not
try
roll
that
a 10.
again.
Okay, go
I
right
believe
ahead.
in you.
It fell off. That was worse. That was a 2.
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on.
Unfortunately, yeah. So you're not sure. Like, it does seem kind of magical, because if it was a reflection, just intellectually speaking, you know that whatever cracked glass would be like an actual break in the reflection. It wouldn't show wherever that glass happens to be missing. So something is being projected, as opposed to it actually being a genuine reflection of the sky.
Right.
Because peace did fall down. It's just kind of blurry, as if whatever is being projected there, or illusion, or magical image is showing, is not as crisp. It is not as detailed. It is not as adhered to that spot. So you don't know what might have caused it. You don't know when this could have been established, or even how, based off of your unfortunate roll. Too. That's sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, so it's just, it's there. It definitely does
Mystery.
seem like magic, though.
Okay. I think Sibell is just like trying to find something that's dry and like flipping through a notebook, and is just like, right, yeah, I actually can't take notes on this.
Yeah. Well, if it was in the bag, it was somewhat protected from the water.
No, the other one.
The other one is soaked through. The other one is
Yeah.
soaked through.
She like kind of
No.
immediately like reaches for it and is like, oh, right, and immediately
That's a
forgets about the
problem.
ceiling. She's like, shit, right, gotta.
So we going down there, or like what?
I suppose we must. It looks like the other
It
way is
goes-
blocked.
Both ways.
goes both ways?
The opening that you came through.
Oh, okay,
that's
that's
basically
the-
an opening in the wall, is partially blocked by a fallen piece of rock from the wall, kind of cracking and part of the wall falling, sort of like a piece of sheet rock that had been on the wall, just cracking off and blocking part of an opening or a doorway.
Right.
So
I'm gonna
that's
do
what
the
you
caver
squeezed through.
standard and lick my finger and hold it up into the air and see if there's an air current.
All right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. As far as you can tell, no.
Oh, that's weird.
Jax is just going like,
Huh.
Stop. Just like, no, this is important.
oh, sorry.
Right. I suspect we're quite deep actually, because closer to the surface there is some exchange of air, and there doesn't seem to be a current down here.
Yeah.
Don't know which way to go.
It doesn't feel like stagnant air to you and Jax. It just does not feel like stagnant
It's
air.
still.
But it is very still, sort of like if you've ever gone down into like the storage area of a museum or the Smithsonian that like closed in air to preserve is kind of that kind of almost sharp sensation to the air. Sibell, seems like air. You have no idea what Kael is doing. You have no idea what Kael is doing. It's just the air is air.
Sure is air.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Tasty. No idea.
Well, how do you feel, left or right?
When in doubt, go left.
You're asking us?
Very well.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go left.
All right, left it is.
He's a good dog.
There aren't a lot of good landmarks down this deep. We don't tend to come down this way.
Okay.
I can mark some land if you want. Let me.
I'm also doing.
Do some mental math.
He hits the wall.
He hits the wall.
Marked
Okay.
it. Not like hard. Not as hard as he
like,
can.
There's a slight crush indentation to it.
Good.
But yeah, so you.
Left mark.
That's our breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Okay. Just figuring out where you're going. Yes, Sibell.
Can I take that glass from the sky?
Yes, you can. You can take that piece of glass.
Cool. I just want to keep that.
It is slightly green tinted when you get a little bit closer to it, and you have to like get fairly close. The sky does provide light to you, so you guys can see now. It's got a slight green tint to it, almost like that really, really transparent sea glass. Highly, highly polished, sharp edges from where it had broken out. And it's maybe like the size of your palm.
Great.
Lovely.
I'm taking this with me. Could be useful. I don't know.
But yeah, so you decide to go left, and you trudge along, and nice smooth floors. The walls are rock. They are kind of slate rock, but in that decorative fashion that people use on like really rich house walls, interior wise. So it's like the very, very pretty, like still mostly smooth with veining and little bits of levels of it still being, slate, but it is as smooth as a like fancy / rich person would want for a hallway. Looking down, you see no seams on the floor, so it's not tile. It's not like lain stone. And it is almost smooth enough to be reflective, except that it's matte. But it's a nice long hallway.
Yep.
Kael,
Are there any...
I was going to ask if you've ever seen anything like this before.
Have I? No, this is much deeper than I've come before. If we are not, I think, in the old city, then we may be somewhere of a similar age where the construction was not something that we have access to anymore.
After about 5
Whatever
minutes
is
of walking,
nice.
after about 5 minutes of walking, the sky gradually transitions to, and you would barely recognize this sensation from the 1 or 2 times that you traveled through the glass tunnel in the river. Looking through water up at the sky, Like it has that quality of looking through water up at the sky, up in the ceiling, instead of just nice, fluffy midday. So it's as if you have transitioned from what would be on the ground looking up to underwater looking up through water at
Right.
a midday sky.
If this is a true image of what is above us, then I suspect we may be under the lake now.
Or the river, at least.
Or perhaps the river.
Is there a giant snake thing in here?
I sincerely hope not.
Seconded.
I mean, not that you didn't punch the first one most exceedingly well.
Very, very well, in fact.
Yeah, you did great.
We call that one a two-hitter quitter back where I come from.
Yeah. So you are walking, and it's this quiet hallway. You mostly hear, your steps, and when you guys speak, no other sounds.
Imagine it's like being in a museum where you kind of don't want to make a lot of loud noises.
Yeah.
Like even talking feels a little weird.
And gradually the walls go from that decorative slate look to smoother and smoother. And now it looks almost like it's highly polished, but you're not sure if it's stone or petrified wood. But it's kind of dark and has a deep quality to it. Before you reach a wall, a door, it's hard to tell. But you have come to the end of whatever this hallway is.
Right.
Question.
Yes.
For the first time, Jax is thinking.
Oh no.
That's concerning.
And he's wondering if his aunt has ever told him about a place like this.
Ooh, that is a great question.
Ooh.
Let's roll a intellect task.
Ooh.
For his
I'm sure you're amazing at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just see what you get.
All right. That's a 6.
That's a 6. You vaguely remember that there are a lot of tales of before magic slept. And it was always before magic slept, not before magic ended, not before the mage era ended. It was before magic slept. You know that there were marvelous acts that mortals could do. Wizards and mages and elementals and creatures of all kinds that could take hold of the power of the world and manipulate the world in ways that sometimes needed to be monitored, sometimes needed to be corrected, and sometimes were interesting enough and not invasive enough to where it could be left as is. How it was done, if this specific situation was one of them, hard to say. But it does give you the generalized feeling of walking a hall of the ancients, a hall of when things were awake. Using that knowledge to identify how to open this, if it is indeed a portal of some kind of escapes you with a 6.
Yeah, Jax will just say, in like a very like reminiscing tone, he's like, "Yeah, my aunt would tell me stories about stuff like this. I don't know, it's crazy, you know, in the time before magic went to sleep, and all this stuff. It escapes me. I like to punch stuff, so like I was more excited about those stories. But this place, sometimes those other ones would stick out, and this place reminds me of that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, I imagine that this particular hallway that we're in does predate the end of the Mage Era, so it's possible that the construction methods were magical in nature. In fact, quite likely. I'll like rub a hand along the seamless wall.
Yeah. You can't feel seams. Searching, I'm guessing, is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you have any type of magical training yourself?
No.
So, yeah, go ahead and give me an intellect task of 6.
Cool.
Great.
I'm just poking at the wall.
Yeah,
Hashtag.
16.
not quite. Not
No,
quite.
not enough though.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so it feels smooth. You can almost feel where indentations could be, but they have been pushed out to be even with the wall. With that 16, you're not quite sure what direction or writing or pictogram or shape even
Was
they
here.
make up.
I'll kind of rub my hands over them and then look over to Sibell and say, perhaps it's just my imagination. This feels different, I think, but I might just be. It's been a long day.
Sibel has like barely said anything and is just like wide-eyed, been staring at everything. There's not really anything, like it's just a hallway, but she's just been like, you can see her clock things. The
Gears
thing
and
that we're
gears and gears.
yeah, the thing we're standing in front of, it's just like a door, a wall. It's just a wall. Great.
Yeah.
Would you personally define this as a device?
I personally, as the GM, would define it as a device.
Great. Can I do a player intrusion?
Yes, you may.
Very cool.
Remember
I
that
want
you
to.
are expending an experience point.
I know, but I have 5.
Yep.
I've been saving them.
Hashtag
I want to do inexplicably unbroken, an inactive, ruined, or presumed destroyed device temporarily activates or performs a useful function relevant to the situation. Enough to buy you some time for a better solution, alleviate a complication.
Amazing.
Blah, 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 blah.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Snap,
yeah.
snap, snap, snap.
So yes, that is a very relevant intrusion. So you expend one of your experience points, and you just kind of look at it a little bit and brush your hand against it in a similar way to Kael did, just trying to get a closer look. And your hand twists slightly as you lean, brushing against a hidden rune. And it just slides open like a pair of automatic doors.
Oh, very well done.
Yeah, I totally did that on purpose.
Jack's like golf claps.
We should go through pretty quick. I don't know how long this lasts.
Oh.
What it opens to is a large foyer type room with couches and cases and that kind of reflective pattern of light of water again, or light through water, just filtered through the room. And this definitely feels like old air as it opens.
Oh gosh.
That's gross.
Sybil, you
like
don't
somebody-
even notice
Fascinating.
at this point.
It's like somebody let one out and then just close the door. Oh, gosh.
Jax.
No one's been down here in a very long time. Does it look like a house or like a study?
It looks like kind of a front receiving area.
Ooh.
I stroll on in.
Yeah, make yourself comfortable.
As Jax
Gosh.
strolls in, lights flicker into the air, hovering orbs of blue and purple and green just kind of floating, just a bit above head height. One drops kind of blue-white and just hovers right over his shoulder so that he's got perfect view of wherever he's looking.
That's cool.
Oh, that's very pretty.
Really cool.
I'm just gonna go around the places missing.
Yeah, no, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Wait up.
Yeah.
We're all like running after you.
We're like, wait a minute, that's cool. I'm coming too. But yeah, so
Kids in the candy shop.
the doors slide closed behind you. And you're looking around, and yeah, there's a couple of wide pieces of not quite paper tacked against the wall with strange drawings and writing across it. Looking up, it is like a legitimate glass ceiling, and you can see up into the lake where the river meets. Fish swimming, the sky faintly above, like the light just filtering through the water above you. There's another much wider wall further into this foyer, essentially, with a couple of very comfortable but old-looking chairs sitting in convenient locations for kind of a waiting room. A couple of cases with, as far as you can tell, glass to display odd-looking things within nearby to kind of just be decorations maybe, or some sort of discussion piece. A low, wide table that has like a cup of some kind on it, along with an old book.
Ooh.
There's so many things in this room I want to touch.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure.
of them.
I
All
am
of
sure.
it. Like, so much. Like, Sybil has gone up to the pages that are, like, tacked to the wall and, like, I think has probably taken one down and then looks over and is like, that's a whole book.
Yeah. No, the page is like wide, poster size.
She's trying. It's
and
not going to work.
You do get it down. It was literally just tacked there. And it's that kind of texture of the really old books, like the kind that are only in your parents' study.
Vellum.
Old. This is definitely Mage era paper, which is not true paper. It is some sort of magically treated sheaf of some kind that has writing all over it that you can't read. And
Boy, why
some
it's
sort
still
of
here after
drawing
centuries.
on it. It's not like artistic drawing. It's some sort of diagram of some kind, maybe.
We're just in a ruin. It's not even ruined.
Yes.
This is pristine. Wait, what? I guess getting down here was kind of troubling, but like,
Oh, yes.
it made it sound like it would be really dangerous, and this is just kind of a house.
Yeah, who knows? It's only the first room, you know.
I
Because
know.
we don't know what's in here yet, and I'm not entirely sure we can get back out again.
He was gonna yell, but then he stopped himself. He's gonna be
As
like,
I'm like looking back where the door was, and now is like, I'm sure, completely part of the wall again.
Yeah.
Ah.
There's nowhere to go but forward. As I say, I'm looking over Sibyl's shoulder at the paper.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what this says.
keep
Absolutely no idea. Yeah,
Take it.
yeah.
Can you read it?
No. She's like rolling it up and like trying to put it in her backpack.
Like,
I have no idea what this is.
imagine some random high schooler given a transcript from the medieval era and trying to read the inconsistencies in how letters were shaped and writing and words. Like, you might be able to make out certain things, but it's illegible otherwise.
We've given a page from the Lindisfarne manuscript to some
Tom
dumbass
is not
from
supposed to
local
go
college.
there. What?
It might just be a poster. Like, I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
a,
so
it's
it
like
is
a
hard.
band poster.
And this is
like,
also in the foyer.
The mage band.
This is
I'm just
not like
taking it.
even in the study. So who knows what it's
Good
actually
stuff.
to? It's possibly some old, like, hey, I'm proud of this thing that I did when I was a kid type of
It's a
thing.
Pink Floyd poster.
I drew this house with the sun in
I'm
it
taking it.
and this bird. You see?
And it immediately goes over to like the table with the book on it and starts like flipping through it and like looking in the cup and like
The cup is like kind of some sort of gritty, powdery film on the inside of a very, very long evaporated drink. Like, it's almost bonded to the inside of the cup now.
Oh, I can't resist. I need to have a sniff.
do we have any extra water?
Smells
from our...
like dust. This is
we can reconstitute
centuries
it.
old.
Yeah.
This is
Can't tell if this
centuries
was
old.
tea or not.
The book is a journal of some kind. Like, it has that kind of format of like some sort of information up at the top, some sort of line of information, possibly a date or a name or a dear journal or whatever, and then paragraph, 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 and some sort of signature.
As delicately as possible. She like flips through a couple pages and then closes it and just kind of like holds it and just starts like vibrating. She's like the most happy that she has ever been in her life. She's like, I don't know what this says. I can't read any of it. This is more information in 20 minutes than in the last 4 years that I've studied.
I'm very happy for you. Perhaps this will be a research project for you. Assuming we can ever get back to the surface and we don't all suffocate and die.
I'm actually
is
also
that?
going to do an intrusion right here.
Great.
Good. Excellent.
For
Great.
Sybil,
Yeah,
our
sure.
overeager little nerd that is in
Yeah,
a
that's good.
mage's foyer.
I'm having so much fun.
You recognize something about one of those signatures in there. And I am going to say that overeager Sibel is going to recognize something about the last name
Oh no.
of one of those signatures. It's
Yeah.
her mom's last name before she married in.
Oh. Oh, that's
And you know that there may be more hints as to this history if you are able to get out. And you recognize a break in the decorations and stuff on the wall where another door further in may lead. So you can continue to research this area, you can be satisfied with the book, or you can take the intrusion and immediately try to go activate
Are you
another
kidding?
door. Which
Are
would
you
be an intellect roll to open the other door instead of using your intrusion.
Even a question.
Okay, so who's
I'm
getting
doing
the
it.
other who's getting the other point?
I think Jax should get it for not killing me.
And
Yeah.
also smashing the shit out of
Yes.
the
Oh
snake
yeah,
monster.
yeah. The much more important thing of saving all of
Saving our lives.
I appreciate the
Yes.
XP.
Yeah. Imagine going down that without a Jax with you.
Oh,
It
no.
was so
Yeah,
easy
it would
getting
be a
here.
sprint.
It was so
Yeah.
easy
Oh,
getting
no.
here
So
because
easy.
you got past the Cerberus of this area.
It's really easy when you have a
Love
man
it.
who can do 12 points of damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was
12
so
points of damage
fine.
in 20 seconds.
Yes.
And the fact
It's
that
1,
my
2,
lungs
yeah.
just don't take in water anymore, so I
No.
didn't drown.
Do they take in
Fine.
anything anymore? Maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
Sibell doesn't need to breathe
It's
ever.
fine.
I'm just
Who knows?
gonna keep doing this until
Yeah. You can do it. You can do it.
that is a 19.
Oh. So yeah,
Minor
like so
effect.
you're just like, wait a minute. You flip through again and you look at it, and it's very different handwriting. Obviously, there's no way that Mama
It's not my
number
actual
two
mom.
is
Mom is
that old.
centuries old.
Yeah, centuries old. But you recognize the name, and you look around for any further signs, and there's like just enough of an opening on another smooth wall to where it could be a feasible door, the same way that you guys came in. And you like dart over, and you're searching around, and you actually feel the shape of the room this time as you twist across it and activate it, sliding it open. And both of you witness all of this. Sibell like going, and then like a dog on a scent, like a madwoman, just like immediately over to that opening without giving you guys the opportunity to really take in the rest of this room. And you're already open to the next one. It is that same kind of filtered, watery light in this area. And you feel the shockwave of the air being released from there because it was pressurized. Lights flicker all around you. Each of you had one of those little lights hovering right over your shoulder to make it easy to look at things. And you feel the vibration of something on the floor and hear the movement of stone and metal through this opening. Looking in, Sibell, right there at the door opening, you hear and see creatures, machines of some kind lifting up from some sort of stasis all around a central counter of some kind, and as one, single-minded, turning to stare at you.
Jax,
I'm going to
Jax,
move forward and put my hand on Sibyl's shoulder and just move her back.
Yeah.
skidding along the ground.
Just above the counter is a larger hovering light similar to the ones that are right over your shoulder, crackling with a rainbow of colors. And it seems to occasionally arc forward and connect with these creatures of some kind. They look like some sort of mixture of metal and wood and stone, with no real features to the face, multiple arms as they turn to stare at you guys. And they're just watching as you are pulled away from the doorway.
Maybe they're friendly.
Maybe. Jax is gonna walk forward.
I
Just
would be
carefully,
very cautious. Kael's like frozen.
but he will indeed walk. If things pop off, Jax wants to be the first one at their attention,
Of course.
basically.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, so as you walk in and they line up, I would like a speed defense roll.
Ooh.
Yep. I'm trained in these. That's what I do.
It's good that you're trained in these because it's normally a DC 7.
Oh,
But
cool.
your training brings it down to an 18 or better instead of impossible to achieve.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Great.
Great.
Anything else that helps? Oh.
Oh, no, yeah.
Nope.
That's a 5.
Ooh.
Are you going to choose to re-roll with one of your experience points?
You know what? I will actually. Yeah. I feel like it's worth it. I'm gonna use a different one. I'm gonna use a different die. Yeah, it's a great time.
Oh no.
That's a 13.
Oh no.
13, not much better. Not much better. But you don't like get hit in the gut, at least, as one of those arcs of power from that central orb of light comes shooting out at you and hits you dead center in the chest.
Ooh.
Throwing you back by a couple of feet.
Tell me how I die.
You don't take damage, but you can feel something about it connecting into you, possibly making it easier for it to hit you the next time. You can feel sort of like a targeted connection.
Oh yeah.
It has knocked you back by a couple of feet, so you're right at the doorway again.
Close the door. Close the door.
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, we're gonna have to fight giant things.
Oh no.
Giant things? What?
I don't know what these are.
Come back, Jax.
Yeah, maybe we should.
I am back.
Can I look to see if there's any way to close the door?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and make an intellect roll DC of 5 to identify where other runes may be to attempt to activate it.
Great.
Jax, are you looking around, or are you just warily watching these creatures that may or may not attack you?
Yeah, I'm just watching them. I'm not doing anything, but I'm just want to know if they start to make a move, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Kale?
I think I am being aware of danger. I'm like looking or like making sure. Seeing if there's anywhere we can run if these things come after us.
Foyer, where are you looking around? Like, are you trying to peek over Jax's shoulder because Jax is a big guy? Are you trying to look around the foyer for somewhere to hide?
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking for like a way to hide or to get out if these creatures come after us.
Okay. What was that intellectual?
I got 14.
1 shy.
Yeah. Oh.
1 shy. So, like, you know that it should be, like, an easy touch height. Because it's something that, like, someone should be able to just palm against. You can't quite find it, though, especially since you are panicking.
Great.
Because that's also the area of the body that you're holding the journal in. So, like, you're just like... Can't find it. Jax, you feel kind of a buzz in your body internally as this thing like begins to like glow and pulse again, as if it's about to do another arc.
Oh no.
How are you reacting?
Ooh. There's
Do something.
it's who I am. How many are there?
No.
There are at least 6 of these little creatures, these little automaton homunculi looking things.
And about how big are they? Like
Probably about like rib cage height, so they're not like tall, but because they're easily able to kind of fold themselves underneath a counter. So maybe about 4-ish feet high.
All right, I guess we're hitting.
So you're charging in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need
I guess we're
another.
fighting.
I need another speed defense task.
Mhm.
Again, with your trained in it, it eases it down to 6, so 18 or better.
That's an 11.
An 11. So
Yeah.
as Jax
Okay.
goes darting into this room to try and knock these things out that are just standing guard and watching you with like featureless, smooth faces, the ball of light pulses large again and rockets another beam directly at him, hitting him square in the chest. I would like a might defense task to stay conscious.
These are indeed hindered for me, and I'm gonna put
Yeah,
effort
so
into it.
that is going to be a 5 normally, so that brings it back up to 5 because of the hindered versus effort.
Everything's
Even
fine.
better.
Everything is totally okay. I got a 19.
19.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
with that, because this would kind of be considered a combat situation, you get a minor effect. You shake it off. Your body pulses with electricity, and you guys watch as electricity arcs down his shoulders and to his fists, like crackling purplish white energy, just throwing this sensation off as he goes, I'm assuming, right for the front creature.
Whoever's first.
Make a
they
roll.
get it.
Make an attack roll.
Whoever is out in front is getting the most of it. That's an 18.
18.
That's what it's about. That's who I am.
So
Yeah.
that means that you do an extra, I believe, 2 points of damage
Oh my god.
to this
Oh, that's
thing
fun.
that you just full on smacked in the face. Because an 18 is extra damage. 17 is 1,
Oh, that's
18
fun.
is 2.
Mhm.
So,
That's great. Yeah.
so this ball of light, like, right into you. And then something within you, you just blast it off with some sort of interior power of your own, internal power of your own. Step forward, one more step, haymaker right to this thing's face. Giant crack down the front of it as you do a whopping 8 fucking points of damage. And it crumples.
Oh my god. You
I
one
told him
shot
not
it.
to.
Oh
I
my
told him
God.
not to mess with me. No, I didn't. But in my mind, I did. But I told him.
Ball of light flares again, and this time strikes the remaining automatons. And that is where we're going to end for the night.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
But as
Oh,
Jax
boy.
glances over his shoulders at you guys, his eyes are bright purple.
Yeah. I was just assuming that lightning bolt powered him up. It just made him angry.
Yeah, like a battery.
Yeah.
Charge in two different senses. Yeah.
Charge into the bolt that then charges. Whack! Oh, that was a beautiful shot right to that thing's face too.
Ooh.
Lovely. Yeah. This is
8
what we all want.
points of damage in one hit.
Oh
Woo!
my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Jax's fists are classified as lethal weapons. Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, so good job, guys. You have survived thus far.
So far.
Till next game.
Yeah, you have survived thus far. You may be in like the beginning area of a mage's sanctum from an era past, with
Yep.
with a very angry ball of light that is the security system.
I was just going to say, I feel like we just walked into the automated defenses.
Yeah, you walked into the magical security system and you're getting shot with beams of pure magic. It's no big deal.
Great, cool.
I'm sure that's great for our overall health.
Yeah,
You know,
amazing.
Our
you can
circadian rhythm.
only do good things, probably,
Yeah.
maybe, probably not.
Only good choices.
Yeah, so it was great job on that. But yeah, so thank you so much. You guys did a great job. You have succeeded. You have not died. You killed a thing or two.
Yet.
Yeah.
We all definitely helped.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
a team effort.
You
A team
actually
effort.
support crew does well. But yeah, so very good job. You have made it into genuine Old City now.
Lit.
But
Literally.
yeah, but yeah. So as a final thing, I am Evie, the Disaster GM. Pronouns, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Let's go in reverse order with Sibell, our little overeager mouse with a book.
Yeah, doing great. Hi, I'm Maggie. She, they pronouns, or they, she, or either or all. I don't care. Find me on the internet at Thor Magnarok, or find me on Alina's channel at Weird Geek Comics.
Extell.
I am Extel, aka Extro the King. You can find me with that name on most social media sites, mostly Twitter and Instagram. Find me on TikTok. I don't really post there, but I'm there. So follow if you want. Blood Tax just recorded their last episode. Our last episode, I'm part of it. but yeah, check that out on Wednesday. You can find more about that on my Twitter and also Take Your O's Twitter. But I'm excited to play more Jacks.
Yes. Super fun,
and punch
super
more
fun.
things and destroy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
And Alina, of course, our lovely artist.
And I am Alina Pete. You can find me online at alinapete.com or at weregeek.com, and on social medias at Alina Pete, most places. Or like I said, next weekend in Seattle, Emerald City.
Yes. Emerald City Comic Con. Go check them out if you happen to be in the area. It sounds like a lot of fun. Alina is also our official character artist for this campaign. So the fun little character images that you see hovering next to them when we are on that portion of the screen, or our character cards that are occasionally on that ad carousel. That is courtesy of our wonderful artists that did such an amazing job depicting them. They are absolutely phenomenal. Once more, this is Evie, the Disaster GM of basically this channel right now. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the campaign's start, or at the beginning of the session start, that little QR code that you see in the corner of the screen. That is a fundraiser benefiting Black Girls Code. Wonderful, wonderful cause. You should really check them out. But in the meantime, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks. There is my... I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, there we go. In the meantime,